Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Amita Balachandra. There's a very interesting conversation that's coming up because the person I'm going to be talking to should be an inspiration to all of us. 29-year-old Vidyut Mohan is one of the seven recipients of the Young Champions of the Year 2020 prize given by the UN Environment Agency to basically global change makers. Now, he's a co-founder of Takachar, which is an enterprise which enables farmers to prevent open burning of their waste residues and in turn helps them convert that to employment opportunities. Vidyut's been very kind enough to make time for us and speak to us about his work and the prize as well. Vidyut, thank you so much for joining us. And first of all, congratulations on the prize. It's well deserved. But first, explain to us what Takacha does, how it was established, and how you empower farmers.
Yeah, thank you so much for that introduction, and thank you so much for having me. Speaking about Takachar, our mission is to simply drastically scale the utilization of waste biomass to fight climate change. And how we are doing that is that we are developing small scale decentralized portable equipment that can be deployed very quickly to close to the site where these biomass wastes are located. And the equipment converts or processes that raw material into a form that can be used to make fuels, fertilizers, and specialty chemicals like activated carbon, thereby creating a value chain for this waste material. And what we see is once that value chain is created, farmers would not see that as a waste and just burn it. And they would essentially then put in the effort of participating in that value chain and supplying that biomass further for productive utilization.
But I understand you stay in Delhi. So how did the idea of establishing this come up?
Right. So the idea for establishing this, I mean, it wasn't a day's, it wasn't like one day I had a thought that I wanted to do this. I think this has been brewing over the past 6 to 7 years. And I think the work on this started during my college master's thesis program, where I was exploring how I could utilize waste agricultural residues and waste forest residues for production of products, chemicals, and energy, etc. And I did my thesis, applied my thesis on this in India, for India's case specifically. And since then, I mean, I stayed in touch, did some pilots, did some more research, and finally in 2018, I decided to take it forward as a company. And the reason I ventured into this field was that I saw that biomass as a field has very strong potential, has a lot of opportunity. Worldwide, $120 billion worth of waste agricultural and forest residues is just burnt in the open. So it's not just an India-specific phenomenon. But somehow the industry is not scaling. So as an engineer, I was very curious to understand why isn't this happening? I mean, is it a technical reason, or is it are there any socio-economic or cultural aspects to it? So that's what my thesis explored. And of course, being from Delhi around 2015, 2016, this crop burning related pollution aspect started gaining media attention, even though it has been existing for a very long time. But it started getting media attention, and people started to get more aware about it. And of course, we always, during winters, someone or the other in my family used to get sick from this pollution related problem, particularly the elderly. So it was something that I've grown up as a kid with. So I really thought this was something worth exploring further and seeing how I could apply my thesis on the ground and not let it lie on the shelf.
It's a good thing you brought up air pollution and Delhi as well, because year after year we talk about that. We talk about stubble burning. We talk about the fact that it gets worse every year. And this year alone, we've seen more than 75,000 incidents of stubble burning in Punjab alone, according to reports. Is there any positive response on ground? What's the response you're getting in from farmers on ground? And what are the challenges?
Yeah, so I have many farmer organizations have reached out to us, not only from Punjab actually, but from all over India. Farmers who typically burn cotton stalk once cotton is harvested, farmers who typically burn paddy straw, of course, farmers who burn sugarcane trash. So many farmers have reached out to us regarding how they could use the machine. In the case of paddy straw, the biggest challenge I see right now is there's no shortage of biomass. Definitely, there's 20 million tons of paddy straw that is generated in Punjab in that 1 month period. So there's plenty of biomass, and there could be takers of that machine. The plenty of takers of that machine too. But the problem is that the machine will not find takers unless someone is there to buy the output from the machine. And that is our biggest challenge right now, is to find the right market for the paddy straw carbon that is produced from the machine, and that is something that we're working on at the moment as part of our research within our company as well as with partners.
Give us a sense of the plan that you have for, let's say, 5 to 10 years from now. You mentioned about partnering with farmer organizations, but are you also looking at support from government bodies, for instance?
Yes, so we are definitely looking for support from government bodies. The challenge with new technologies like ours is in terms of regulations and certifications. Where does it fit in the spectrum of technologies that are available at the moment? And what is the benchmark for our technology? So that is something very hazy for us at the moment, and we'd love to get some support on that. And of course, down the line, if once our technology is out there in the field for everyone to see, and it's proven publicly, then would love to see how we could use the government's help to scale this up rapidly for utilization of biomass wherever it's needed.
And in the short term, I also want to talk about the price, because first of all, there are two things, right? One is that it puts you in the global map, which is a good thing, and it's also about the reach. But each winner is also going to get $10,000 in seed funding. So how do you plan on utilizing that?
So we are in the very advanced stages of essentially sorting out all manufacturing related prep work before we could have a product out in the market. And at the same time, we are holding back a bit till COVID becomes, it's much easier to go outside and have our team travel outside and do pilots and interact with people. So we have kind of held off for the past 5 or 6 months in accelerating too much and traveling too much. So we would be using this time to essentially using this prize money to essentially have our commercial proof of concept with farmer groups on the field.
In terms of contributing to the environment, this shows that each of us can do our own bit. So what's your message to people who are watching right now?
Just be curious. There are plenty of problems around us. And you'll probably be touched and more curious about a particular problem according to your background and interests. Just try to explore. Just have a curious mind. Explore that in more detail. Try to understand why that's happening, and try to fall in love with the problem and not the solution. Because starting with the solution first leads to, and then attacking the problem leads to creation of more problems eventually. So just try to understand the problem as much as possible, why it's happening, what are the contributors, who are the stakeholders, and join the dots. And that process is fun. And also the solution will just come out of that process eventually. So just be curious, I would say.
All right. Vidyut, thank you so much for giving us your time, and congratulations and all the best to you and your team.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.